My music disappeared. Try this again. Hello, gorgeous human beings of the Manifest program.
Mind if I move it towards me just a smidge?
No, that would probably be better because there's a lot of me and not enough of you.
Not enough me. All right.
When you're coming in, say hello. Let us know how you feel.
Hello, everyone.
We're excited to chat with you based on yesterday's questions. We've got a really good piece for you today. Hi, Katie. Hi, Rayma. Can you tell it's Mercury retrograde? Have weird things happened today? Well, maybe that's why our camera isn't working the way we want it to. It's quite a fuzz.
It could be.
There's a buzz.
Hello, Allison. Hello, Emily. Hello, Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yes,
my turn with the hat today.
This is my natural state.
He's lying. He curled it curl by curl in the bathroom.
No.
Before.
This is au naturel.
He reminds me of the beast, like the beast.
The beauty.
That means I'm the beast.
Not at all. Hello, Dimple.
Dimple! Only one person gets to wear the hat. Well, because
It just doesn't fit out. I mean, this is going to be me half of the time anyway, so.
the hats have changed. Hello.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Abby. Theo, Allison, Cindy. Hello.
Canadian
humans. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Jen. Alyssa. So excited for today.
Yes. Thankfully, there's no pointy edges on the hat.
All right. So excited for today.
Us too.
So, we talked to you yesterday and we asked you what you've noticed about your relationship. Whether if you are single right now, whether you're in a beginning stage relationship, whether you're moving into like real seriousness, if you've been together for a long time. So what I'm wondering is, what are some of the things that you've noticed? So if you'd want to answer that in the comments, that would be fantastic. Hello, Celeste and Patrick. So happy that you're here together. So let us know in the comments right now, what are some of the realizations that you got?
I'd actually love to hear from some of the men too, if the ladies will allow them to type.
And just make sure if it's the man that you write your name with 2 little dots so we have an idea.
Or man.
What did I say?
Their name.
Just men? Dot.
It could be just man.
Man. I'm finally out of Facebook jail.
Welcome back.
Hemi, oh my gosh. Love the hair. Kevin. My curly head man. One of the first things my mother ever asked Kevin was, who graced you with this curly hair? Like, she never met him before in her entire life. And she was like, who is it in your family that has hair like that? He's like, nobody.
Oddly enough, nobody. No, my grandmother on my mother's side had somewhat curly hair.
So Tanya says, I noticed that I like being single more because I feel it gives me more freedom. And that's when I created the most amount of money, is when I was single.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So does that mean there's a connection now between being single and lots of money?
Maybe. Chelsea says, in the past, I let my own self-care time fall by the wayside. Not anymore. It's so good. What was the question again? So the question is the homework of yesterday. So.
But for men.
Oh.
What about yourself at the beginning of the relationship, the things that you were doing, do you feel like you're missing now? Because we often kind of get a little lax as months and years go by. We change who we are. We're not giving so much of ourselves because life gets in the way, because family gets in the way, quote unquote. So who were you at the beginning of the relationship that maybe has fallen by the wayside that you could bring back?
So Emily says, I notice that what I lose when I get into a relationship is myself. I don't honor my boundaries. So many realization. I've lost myself in relationships. I have the man I desire. Big realization because I'm back. Nice. Dimple, that's amazing. Kelly. Stephanie says, when I enter a relationship, I tend to give myself care and spiritual practices. Are you seeing there's a trend right now? Hassie says, I've noticed I pay more attention That we spend quality time in the beginning, going on dates, not in front of the TV. And it says, what I loved being single last time was when I felt the most playful and sexy and flirty. Yes. Out of everything that I love about Brian, there's just a deep soul connection, understanding, and passion for him that I have never experienced in my life. That's amazing. I loved seeing you guys the last couple of days and actually meeting Kevin after hearing so much about him. I love that. Kevin, what you shared yesterday about being acknowledged versus praised from a mother was huge. That's awesome.
Good.
My relationship has incredible potential. My partner is amazing and shows up so beautifully, yet I feel unfulfilled and consistently managing feelings of this isn't right for me and he's not the one. I understand that. Ashley says, realizing that I desire to spend more time treating myself like a queen, feeling myself so full and having no expectation from my boyfriend. I used to pay for that kind of hairdo.
That was the thing back in the 80s.
Oh well. My big takeaway is to not judge your partner and give advice without being asked. That's so good.
Thank you, Suzanne.
We're rewriting the rules of our marriage. I love that. Okay, so here's what I want to tell you.
Wow. From Brian.
I've scrolled a little bit.
He says he feels like he didn't lose anything, but he gained with the relationship. Amazing.
That's amazing. So, Geraldine, probably in the beginning, we used to argue less because I didn't speak English. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so this is an important piece of the puzzle that we want to bring to you today. One of the reasons we really wanted to create a relationship program that held people at all levels, whether you're single, whether you're in early terms relationship, whether you've been in a committed relationship for a while, is we wanted you to be able to see and remember that at every phase of this journey, there's something that's not quite right, or something that's perfect, or something that can be changed, or something that can be amazing. What we tend to do that causes the issues about relationships is that we put relationships themselves on a pedestal. So we say, once I have a relationship, life is going to be so different. When I have a relationship, I'm going to feel so connected and I'm going to have help and I'm going to have support and I'm going to be this way and that way when I have a relationship. When I'm in a relationship, it's going to be so much more easy for me to be in my feminine. I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that when I'm in a relationship. And you may look at other men and other relationships and say, oh, when I'm in a relationship, I'll never do that. When I'm in a relationship, well, my man will be exactly like that. When I have a relationship, ... And the mistake that we create basically is that the relationship itself becomes something outside of your immediate frequency. It's like, when I'm someone else, I'll have this relationship, or I'll be someone else when I have this relationship. And we create this story and this image of who we're meant to be when the relationship comes. And then when the relationship comes, we pretend we're that person because we feel it's who we need to be in order for it to work, because we always thought we would be that person. We present something that's a little different from who we are. A little more pleasing, a little more kind, a little more proper, a little more laid back, a little more not ourselves, because we don't want to break the relationship. So do you mind, Kevin, talking about what it's like to put a relationship and a woman on a pedestal?
For sure. One of the things that I learned many years ago was that I was a pedestal putter. I put women that I was in a relationship on a pedestal, and what I recognized after the fact was that's not a position they ever asked for. There's a lot of pressure on that, and it created a disconnect. Yeah, thank you. The sun is coming in my face. It created a disconnect in our relationship entirely, so that all this extra giving, all this extra doing, all this extra things that I was doing, thinking that I was like, I'm doing this so that you'll love me. I'm doing this so that you'll enjoy me. I'm doing this. Maybe someday you'll have sex with me. This will be great, right? And yet there was never that return of this sort of affection that I was giving, because from me, that's the immature masculine. That's the little boy trying to impress mom. Look, mom, I drew you a picture. Look, mom, I picked you a flower out of the thing. Please love me. And that's not a position that any partner would want. If you want a sort of a king-queen relationship instead of a queen and child, or a queen and a peasant relationship, it never, ever, ever, ever works that way. And it creates bitterness in the person that's putting the other one on a pedestal, because they say, well, I'm doing all these things and you don't show me any love, I'm doing all these things. You don't show me you don't acknowledge the things that I'm doing, but I'm doing all these things for you. I'm doing them so you'll love me. Why don't you get that? Why don't you understand? And then we get bitter and angry and resentful. And if we don't know how to communicate very well, we let it build up over time until something explodes. And it's either the one putting the person on the pedestal and they explode in anger and rage, or it's the one on the pedestal just going, I can't take this anymore. You're not bringing anything to the relationship. And it's like, what do you mean? I'm bringing so much. I do all these things for you. Doing things is not bringing the passionate self to the relationship. You're not bringing you to the relationship. You're bringing a bunch of stuff. And that's not what somebody wants.
And then even more so when it's the feminine role, like men love us for who we are, for the energy we bring to the table, for the magnetism. So the more we do trying to please, the further away from the true essence of what actually makes the relationship work we are, because all the doing, leaning forward energy is masculine driven energy anyway, because it's result oriented. When you believe you're lovable for who you are, when you believe that you deserve love and kindness and all the things, let's see if we can move you.
I was just going to sit here and glow for a while.
Yeah, like what is it? What's up with that?
The sun is moving.
It is. It feels like we are trying so hard to be something in order for the relationship to work. So men will put the woman on a pedestal, but women put the relationship on a pedestal. What should it be? And if ever you or your man do anything that's not based on what you thought it should be, you question it. Is this right for me? Is this the right person for me? I don't feel like this is what I imagined it would be. I don't feel like it should be this way. I don't feel like I should feel like this. So at any step, in any place where you are right now in your relationship, the first most important thing is to acknowledge, like, this is where you are. There are women that are single that think having a partner is going to be the saving grace. And then there are women in relationships thinking if they just had the courage to leave, that would be everything. There are women wishing that their men would just ask them to marry them, like that would save everything. And there are women wishing they just had never agreed to marriage. It's not the truth that a relationship is going to change your life. What's the truth is that an incredible relationship is going to change your life. And that is such a different thing. So the first thing, no matter what stage you're at in your life, is you've got to figure out who you are outside of the relationship, without the relationship being on a pedestal. You will not be bettered 1,000,000% by any relationship. You will not be bettered by just a relationship. It's the right relationship. So we don't want to create external circumstances. We don't want to create a life that's not exactly real just because it fits the profile of having or being in a relationship, just to then feel like this wasn't what we're meant for, or we don't have space to be exactly who we are. What works in my relationship with Kevin is he doesn't put me on a pedestal, but he did that work outside of our relationship. And not only did he do that work outside of our relationship, he did it in a way where he didn't even know it was work. So you know how we often say we need the men to do the work? Like if you would have asked Kevin if he'd done personal development work, he would have said no. But what he did is he lived life and he learned lessons, right? So by the time he came to being in a relationship with me, there was a decision, like, he is not going to put me on a pedestal. Like, he's not going to put women on a pedestal. So I'm already part of this new way of being. And thank God, because I can only imagine how far apart we would be now if on top of me being on a pedestal, I then created a business that generated multi-millions of dollars and went on to be like an online celebrity or whatever it is, how much space it would have created in our relationship instead of proximity. It's the fact that we've always felt togetherness that makes it that now when I succeed, he's right there with me, and it's our success because he just jumps right in. He knows he's on the frequency of this success with me. He's like, okay, you know, how do I make this even easier for you? How do I make this better? It's ours. It's on the frequency of us. If I were on a different frequency, it'd always feel like he was, like the way he explained it before, like the queen and the peasant, which is like, I can do things for you, but I'll never be a part of it. I can do things for you, but it'll never be our kingdom, our queendom, our place. It'll always be, you're the queen and I serve you. And I'm so lucky that I have a place here. And for the queen, that's a very lonely place to be because there is no togetherness in that. So for those of you who did calibration keys with me, we are going to be talking to you about like building the life of dreams and really creating a relationship where you get to calibrate together. But the first thing, same as in calibration keys, same as this huge piece was, is you've got to feel like you're on the same frequency. If one of you is meant to be a certain way, if one of you is meant to be something, if one of you is on a pedestal, then the connection is severed. We're not on the same frequency. Is there something coming up you want to say?
So much fun happening in the comments there.
Tell me.
Dimple, the character you're looking for is Tarzan.
Yeah, Tarzan.
Yes, actually, I didn't know that you quoted us in the comments. That's pretty cool. But Lisa is there saying something. There's two different options for men when they're not in their mature masculine. One was the one that I described, and the other is that you're describing there. And that's the, I'm not changing for anybody.